Good morning, good morning, good morning. I pray all is well with you and your families. I pray you thank the Lord for waking you up on this morning because someone did not, someone will not. This is the day that the Lord has made and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. My God, my God, my God. You know, this message is probably going to upset many people because, heck, it upset me when I had to face the reality of it, right? When I had to face the truth in it as I was seeking the Lord in prayer about everything that's going on. You know, many times we don't want to admit that we are the problem and can also be the solution to the problem. You know, I'm looking at the situation with the shortage of baby milk, the situations about adoption, the situations about these cops, killing unarmed blacks, this hate in America, right? The hate in America. Really the hate all around the world, but I'm talking about the United States right now. Many people voted blue. It's just the truth, right? You voted blue because you were in your emotions about George Floyd and the cop just straight up murdering George Floyd, which we were all upset about it. So when you voted blue, you weren't thinking logically. You were thinking out of your, emotions. And they knew that this would work with, having a woman of color, whatever race she may be, running as the vice president, right? They knew that people of color would vote blue for that very reason. No other reason but that reason alone. So they got what they wanted. So after they get in office, they start throwing out money through stimulus packages and PPP loans, and which still on today. Every time I hear PPP loan, I see 666. I see evil. I see of the devil from the very beginning. And the Lord never let me apply for that loan for my nonprofit, Save Our Families Incorporated. He did not. And I could have easily done it like everyone else. And he did not. And every time I saw PPP loan, I saw 666 loan. No lie. I can't make this up. And so you've got the stimulus money, you've got the PPP loans, and then you've got the unemployment that they kept giving people. I mean, they were paying people to stay home, you all, like literally paying people to stay home during the pandemic. So you've got all these people who no longer work, and then they stay home, right, out of fear. And I believe many of them were afraid in the beginning. I'm not lying, because people who watch the news all day, every day, they live in fear. No lie, because that's what the news media outlets push out. They push out fear. I mean, it's just the truth. They push out fear. This is what they push out. They push out fear. And then you wonder why you have anxiety, depression, and you're on an emotional roller coaster, but you watch the news 24/7. You follow it on TV. You follow it on your social media websites. Like, all you do is watch the news, and you wonder why you're so discombobulated. However, be that as it may, they gave out all this money for people to stay home for unemployment, and then they became lazy. Some people were really afraid. Once again, some people had health problems, so the best thing for them to do was to stay home. I'm not even negating that fact. But many people stayed home because they got paid more money to stay home than they were getting paid on their jobs. And so then we come out with, we've got the mask mandates, and then we get the mandate about, taking a shot of, you don't know what it is, that came out extremely fast, that was expedited. And frankly, you got me messed up times 10, and I don't care. I'm not taking that poison. So then you find out about all the side effects of this medicine that they give you. And then you want to complain. Now they're coming out with more stuff, another pandemic that they're going to throw out, another reason for people to take shots. And the sad part is people are complaining about all these new pandemics that they're planning and all these new shots that they're trying to make people take. But see, people took the shot. and including church people, people of God. Everybody fell for the works of the devil, the scheme of the devil. You know, they weren't looking at this thing spiritually, and everybody fell for it. So now the devil's sitting up here trying it again. And for all you church folks, you church leaders, and everyone else out there sitting up here trying to complain about what's going on, first off, foremost, you shouldn't have never went along with it in the beginning. The mask mandates and the shot. You went along with it. So yeah, the devil, they easily influence. Why? All we got to do is give them money. Come on, y'all were sitting up there giving out gift cards for people to take a shot, and then y'all go sit up here and try to complain later. Oh, you weren't complaining while you were getting that money. For the love of money is the root of all evil. Yes, money answer all things, but see, the love of money is the root of all evil, and many church leaders are money hungry, and you're greedy, and you're evil as all get out. You know, when everything you talk about is money, 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 but you ain't talking about winning souls. You ain't talking about delivering people. You're not talking about trying to grow people in the word of God. You're not trying to help them out, but you want your money. You want your money. Give you money for what? Who are you helping? No one. All you doing is getting fat, literally, F-A-T, straight up and down. When we look at you, we can see you eat very well every day, even if you eating out or if you eating a full course meal in your home with a chef cooking for you, but you eating well. You are literally fat, F-A-T. Many preachers in America are overweight, obese. My God, I'm sure they on some type of heart medication because their heart not right anyway to sit up there and rob people and rob God and the people of God, be that as it may. So even the church folks took the bait. They took the money, and then their leader of their church was encouraging them to take the bait and was saying, we'll give you a gift card if you take the bait. So once again, PPP loan 666, the works of the devil, for the love of money is the root of all evil. They were giving out gift cards for you to take this shot. The love of money is the root of all evil. My God, my God, my God. You know, the truth of the matter is we want to complain and say that they're trying to make black people extinct, right? So here's something I went to the Lord about, because I'm like, God, I need you to help me because I'm a black woman. You know, my daddy is from Africa. My mother's from America. I am literally what you call African American. So Lord, this is not sitting well with me. Help me understand this. And this is what the Lord spoke to me. And this is so very real, and a lot of people are going to be upset about it, but the truth shall make you free, keep you free, because once again, we love to blame other people, and we love to not want to admit that sometimes we are the problem, but if we are that problem, we can also be that same solution. You know, the thing is, my dear black people, what I've noticed in the city of Knoxville, Tennessee that I live in, we have generations of black people that grow up in the projects. I'm talking about the grandmother raised you in the projects, then your mama raised you in the projects, now you raising your children in the projects. The generational cycle. The generational cycle of we don't need a man. We just need if we get pregnant, we'll take care of the baby, and then we'll get on the system and allow the government to take care of the baby. We'll get on food stamps and welfare and Medicare and let the government take care of us and our children. We won't go out and get a job, but we'll still have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and sometimes 9, 10 children, and we want the government to pay for it. And then you all are getting upset saying the government wants us to kill our babies. Well, for one, we keep on going through generational cycles, and it's not the fact that they want you to kill your baby. The fact of the matter is you're not taking care of your child. The daddy's not taking care of your child, but the government is taking care of your child with WIC, paying for your kids' milk, paying for your kids' infant formula, paying for your kids' health care, paying for your housing. They're paying for everything, and you don't want to tell them who the baby daddy is because you don't want to put the baby daddy on child support. And the government tired of taking care of black people and their children and their health and their food. They literally provide everything for black people, and they do it for other races too. But from where I live and from what I see and from what I have grown up around, the cycle of black people in the projects is real, and it's generational cycles. Once again, the grandmother raised a child in the projects. How do I know? My grandmother raised us in the projects, right? Then my mother raised us in the projects, right? But by the grace of God, I didn't have to raise my children in the projects. So understand, I'm telling you all this because I have lived this thing out, and that's why it hurt me so bad to actually see this thing. What else did I see growing up in the projects? I have family members who have children and then they did not raise the children. Either the grandparents raised the children or the children were given up for adoption. But yet they were having 2, 3, 4, 5 children. But yet did not take care of them. Someone else did. This is a hard message because when you know that you grew up this way, but you're no longer distracted and you're no longer blinded, you can see clearly. You can see clearly. And the craziest thing is we can't blame the government. As much as we as black people would like to blame the government, what we need to blame is the generational cycle that we grew up believing was okay. It's not okay to have children, raise them up in the projects their whole entire life. You never go to work, but you sit at home and have 4 and 5 kids. Because I've got 3, and I'm going to tell you, 1 was enough, 2 was too many. And when you get to 3, it's like, my God, what was I doing? I'm telling y'all this. But yet I was still taking care of my children. I still took care of my kids, regardless of how I had to take care of them. No lie. And what you all fail to realize is this. 3 children is hard to raise. And I'm telling you this from experience, right? I'm telling you this from experience. I'm telling you this from experience. So if it's hard to raise 3 children as a single mother, why would you keep having kids after you've even had 3? And you see, but see, I've noticed that many people constantly have kids like that because, for one, they're not the one taking care of them. They got a family member helping or multiple family members helping. So no, yeah, I'm going to have as many kids as I want. I ain't the one that got to sit down and take care of them. I got a mama that'll take care of them, a granny that'll take care of them, an aunt that'll take care of them. Heck, and then I can still draw the welfare check and get the food stamps. And if I don't want to sit up there and feed my kids, I can sell my food stamps, get my hair done, get my nails done, wear my fake lashes, have my clothes on while my kids looking like a bunch of little kids that, you know, I mean, and this is the true story with black people. This is the true story with black people. I can't talk about any other race because I'm black. But I am going to tell us about ourselves because I had to deal with this. Like I said, it was a hard message and a hard pill to swallow. But the truth shall make us free, keep us free if you want to be free. Because at the end of the day, many people love their bondage. They love their bondage. They love the government telling them what to do. They love the government in all of their business. They love the government knowing when they eat, when they can't eat, when they go to the doctor, when they can't go to the doctor. How does the government know? Because they giving them food stamps. They giving them Medicaid. They giving them health care. How does the government know? Because they're giving them a welfare check. How does the government know if you don't have housing? Well, because many of us on vouchers. Oh yeah. On Section 8 housing. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Let's talk about this thing, man. And it ain't really to talk about. It's really just for you to listen because God done dealt with me so hard on this thing, man. It's not even for me to even dialogue with anybody, debate with anybody, because I know it's hurting y'all as much as it hurt me to come to this realization and be able to see this thing very clearly without any distractions. What am I meaning by without distractions? Because I do not watch the news. So I'm not distracted by the bull crap that come out on the news. You know, the lies that they spread that sit up there and try to have us all living in fear and going all crazy. And then also another thing. This is why they want the abortions in the black community, the abortion clinics in the black community, because they're tired of funding black families with housing, with food, and health care. So if we sit up here and we manipulate these young black mothers into thinking, go ahead and just kill the baby. That's one less baby we got to take care of, because all it's going to do is grow up on welfare like the rest of them. You all got to see what's really going on. And then we're going to get into the shortage of the baby formula. Well, do you all really think the government care about feeding your babies if they want to kill your baby? Of course not. The government would rather feed people, from what I have watched on the news, they rather feed people in other countries. Why do you think that is? Well, what I've learned about other countries, the people are not lazy. They work. They work for less money than what Americans work for, and they work hard. So, in other words, the government has started giving free milk on WIC to families, because let's just be real, most families in America are on the government system in order to get milk and feed their infant babies. So that means these families are not spending their own money on this formula. Most families are not spending money on that formula. The government is paying for that as well when they pay for their WIC. You all got to see, the government been controlling us all this time, and now they're just showing us now how much power that they truly had all this time, although that we've been distracted, we've been taught wrong, and then we got generational cycles thinking that it's okay, and the whole time it was never okay. It was never okay for the government to pay for our housing. It was never okay for the government to give us food stamps and WIC and welfare checks. It was never okay for the government to pay for our health care. We all should have been out working. We all should have been out. Man, there's so many talented people, especially black people, inventors, creators. My God, from Zion, if you only applied what the Lord has put in you and make something out of yourself. Entrepreneurs, my God, yes, it's hard to start a thing, but I'm telling you, after you get it going for a good 5 years, I'm telling you, most likely you will be successful. You've got to spend money in order to make money. Like many of you, all this time when you were getting them unemployment checks and getting them stimulus checks, if you would have been thinking, you would have invested and started your own business, a small startup business out of your own home, out of your own apartment. My God, from Zion, I started my own by the grace of God, and it wasn't nothing but a God thing. Started my own nonprofit organization out of my 2-bedroom apartment after I lost the housing that the government had been paying for. Are y'all hearing me? Are y'all hearing me? Mic check, are you hearing me? And although, see, what many of you fail to realize, you can be on a voucher, but if you got a job, you ain't got zero rent. You paying your rent and your utilities. And then so many of you, even in Section 8 housing, man, y'all got it so good that the government paying for your rent, they paying for your utilities, they paying for your food, they giving you a welfare check to pay for your household supplies. My God, from Zion, I mean, like, they literally paying for everything for you, and you all wonder why they want abortion clinics in the black community. And you wonder why? They're paying for your food, your housing, they're paying for everything, and they are tired of paying for everything. And the truth is, like, because I've gone out to see some moms, and I've done told them straight up, you need to get a job. You know, my daddy taught me at a young age to work. Like, my daddy had me working at the age of 8. True story, no lie. I mean, like, you know, once again, I said my daddy is from Africa. My daddy is from Africa. They believe in working. They do not believe in handouts, period, point blank. And so we want to get upset because, you know, they're saying that, you know, all the milk, there's a stockpile of milk at the border for Mexicans. I mean, I'm sorry to tell you, but them Mexicans work their butts off. Like, they're not lazy. They're not. And Americans are. Majority of the Americans are lazy. Period, point blank. Make no mistake about it. We're overweight and lazy. Let's just make this thing plain. Overweight and lazy. I mean, my God, we want to sit around and eat all day, or, you know, maybe drink all day, maybe smoke weed all day, whatever it is that you do, whatever your vice may be, but don't want to work. Play video games all day, but don't want to work. Gamble all day, but don't want to work. Okay, so when you sit up here and you go around and you have people complaining about not having any money, but yet you drive up and down the street and everybody is hiring. So the fact of the matter is, it's not that there aren't any jobs out there. The fact of the matter is, people are lazy. Oh, so then we want to say, well, you allowing all these Mexicans and Arabians and Africans to come into our country and Chinese to come into our country and they get jobs. No, what it is, they work. They don't mind working. They don't complain as much as Americans. They get the job done and then they go home to their families. Spoiler alert. I've watched it. I've witnessed it. The truth is the light of the world and the truth shall make you free. You know, I get so upset when people have issues with foreigners working, considering Americans are lazy and don't want to work. I mean, how are you going to be mad at the foreigners who are willing to work, love to work, know that they got to work to make a living, know that they got to work to feed their children, know that they got to work to what? Put shelter over their children's head, clothes on their children's backs, shoes on their children's feet. Oh, but in the land of the free and the home of the brave, all these privileged people. You got white privilege, and then you got these elite black folks that think they better and think they white when you still black, honey. Homeboy, homegirl, you're still black. But anyway, be that as it may, you know, you've got all these people that, you know, you think because you're rich and you're black that you're better than every other black person. But at the end of the day, a white person still see a black person. Period. Point blank. You aren't any better. Yeah, just thought you should know that. And we know that white privilege is really real in America. We know that there is white supremacy. We know all of these things that's been in history. We know this. We know the KKK is real. Yes, we know this. We know that there are hate crimes. Yes, we know all of this. And then so also on this morning, I ran across a video of these white cops trying to arrest a black male. And of course, thank God it was recorded. So the black male did not get killed. But what I witnessed by watching that video, and I don't know if the person realized that this was very obvious, but the black male was resisting arrest. So now I was able to see clearly those officers were not trying to choke him out. Those officers were not trying to hurt the young black male. They were trying to get him down on the ground to handcuff him, and he kept jumping up, fighting the police. Now, so if we're going to talk about police brutality, let's talk about the ignorance in resisting arrest. Now, we all know that police officers are trained to kill. It's like they don't know how to do anything else but kill, right? Well, until it comes to a white person that they don't want to kill. But anyway, when it comes to white officers killing black men, it's pretty much always a racist, prejudiced cop, because all white cops don't kill black men. Let's make this thing very plain. And just in case y'all didn't know, now you know, because every white person is not prejudiced. Some cops really are good, but there's so many corrupt ones, we can't see the good ones. Let's make it plain. However, be that as it may, all white cops are not out to kill black people. Stop that stupid, ignorant narrative that you all spread on social media, because if that was the case, there would be a very wide shortage and decrease of lives in the black community. Let's make it plain. Black people kill more blacks than white people kill blacks. Sorry to tell you all the truth on this Sunday morning, but somebody has to say it, because you all believe anything that you see on social media and on the news. And my God from Zion, you got to know that blacks kill blacks more than whites kill blacks. And that is the truth. My son was killed at the hand of another black male. My cousin was killed at the hand of another black male. My nephew was killed at the hands of another black male. I ain't heard no white folks killing any black folks, really. And my God, I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee. And we know for a fact there's a bunch of racist folks here, but they ain't just going around killing black folks. But like, if you look at the murders in the town, most of the time you got it's a black gang member that killed another black innocent person. Boom, boom, boom. But anyway, let's blame everything on whites. Y'all don't realize how ignorant you sound. And at the end of the day, once again, if you know you innocent, or if you know you ain't done nothing wrong, when a cop is trying to arrest you, let them put the handcuffs on you. Like, why are y'all sitting up here resisting arrest and then you want to videotape it like the cop not doing their job by trying to put handcuffs on you, but it's showing that you're fighting the cop? Like, I'm sorry, I can't roll with this bull that y'all be posting on social media, especially knowing that my son died at the hands of another black male. And then it was a group of black males that wanted him dead, called a gang. So at the end of the day, you know, you can miss me with that bull crap, period, point blank. Like, I know the truth. You can't come tell me no lies. You can't sit up here and manipulate me with lies from videos. You know, we got to call these things out as they are. You know, stop resisting arrest, my black man and my black woman. Stop arguing every time a cop pull you over. You know, I was ignorant and used to do that too. I get pulled over by the cops. It could be just for speeding. Or literally, it could be for no reason. Because, like, after my son was killed and I was constantly going to the police station and they didn't want me knowing what was really going on, you know, I got pulled over by cops. But I sat up there and started recording live on social media as well, because I wasn't getting ready to get killed by no cops. And I was calm and cool. But what I noticed the other day, I was watching a video on social media, and it was a white man, and he was like, you know, you have the right to remain silent. That's what the little title of the video was. And so when the white officer pulled over this white man and asked him for his license and registration, the white man just handed him his license and registration. The cop was like, what are you doing? Whoop-de-woo. The man said nothing. The white man said nothing to the white cop. And do you know the white cop came back and handed him his license and registration and let him go? What's the moral of that story? If you just hand the officer your license and registration, things could go a lot smoother. But most black people don't have license or registration or insurance. So this is why we argue with the cops. Man, boy, I'm hitting some nuggets on this morning, and I know y'all mad, man. I'm just flowing in the spirit because, like I said, I went to the Lord in prayer about this thing to help me understand it, man. Like, it hit me hard because what? You know, like I said, my daddy's from Africa, my mother's from America, and I'm what you call a African American for real. So the Lord was just downloading things like he's downloading now. And it's just amazing that we want to blame everything on cops, but yet we don't want to get our license. We don't want to have a car that's registered in our name. We do not, you know, have car insurance, but it's the cops' fault. Like, how is it the cops' fault that you don't have license or your license is revoked? How is it the cops' fault that you're riding in a car that's probably stolen or it's in your mother's name or your girlfriend's name? How is it the cops' fault that you don't have car insurance? How is it the cops' fault when they have to use excessive force to get you down on the ground and put you in handcuffs, but they've had to chase you for 10, 15, 20 minutes? How is it the cops' fault when you're sitting up here fighting them, pushing on them, and they have to protect themselves for real? Like I'm talking about, because there's some situations where cops really do have to protect themselves from the people that they're trying to arrest, and that's no lie. Stop believing a lie that white cops are out here just killing black people, because it's black people out here killing black people. Black Lives Matter don't speak until it's a white person killing black people, but y'all silent while blacks kill each other all day, every day, all around the world. In big cities: Detroit, Michigan, Chicago, Illinois, Memphis, Tennessee, California, Compton. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that though. Let's just talk about when a white person killed black people. But yet you have drive-by shootings where young black male and females are being killed from the age of 5 on up, some younger than that. But black lives don't matter when we're killing our own. It's almost as bad as the government with abortions in the black community. You can do black on black crime in the black community and it's okay. You can have abortion clinics in the black community and it's okay. All these things going on in the black community, and it's okay. But if a white person do something, oh, the white person is racist. What about you black folks just killing each other? Blacks not liking their own race. Yeah, these cycles are so real. I don't believe the Black Lives Matter. Yeah, it sounds good, but y'all don't speak up when black people kill black people. Y'all go silent, hide up under a rock. So what's your real agenda? It's obviously money. You know, these high profile cases. I mean, come on, let's just be real. You got these white cops that may kill a black person, or a white person that may, do a massacre in a black community. So what is this? This is on the news. This is the way to get, free publicity on the news, wherever you go stand and call yourself talking and doing whatever you're doing. But, the murders that go on in the black community happen every day. So, no, you're not going to get wide publicity, free TV time. Checking them or sitting out the kitty, I'm okay. So what's your agenda for real? Because black lives don't matter to black people. Black lives don't matter to black people until it's your family member that's killed, until that death come knocking at your door. And understand, you never know when you may get that phone call that your child is dead, that your child was killed at the hands of another black man, and see how you feel about Black Lives Matter then when your child is killed by another black person, black on black crime. If Black Lives Matter to black people, put the guns down and stop killing one another and come together in unity. Every other race and nationality know how to come together in unity except black people. Black people jealous. Black people compete. Black people want what the other black person have, but don't want to go out and do the work, so they want to steal. They want to steal ideas. Y'all follow people on social media to steal ideas, to listen to what they're saying, just to steal and steal and steal. I got more good. If you put that much time and effort into doing something on your own and building something on your own that is authentic, that you put in listening to other people, Facebook lives, Instagram lives, golly, TikTok lives, and they be on there for hours and hours. I don't even see how they have that much time to talk. I ain't lying. Like, I know God ain't giving you that much to say for 3 and 4 hours. There's no way possible. But anyway, be that as it may, do what you do. On podcasts talking for 3, 4, 5 hours. Man, come on, you just trying to get money. But anyway, the same time that these people go around listening to other people for all these hours, if they took that time and just applied themselves and started something of their own authentically. Thieves just make me sick. I can't stand a thief. I cannot stand a thief. I cannot stand a thief. A thief can't be trusted. I don't like takers. People always taking. You don't give anything, but you always got your hand out for something. Like, man, you don't want to give anybody anything else, but you always got your hand out for something. Give me, give me, give me. At this point, you ain't nothing but a charity case. Like, go get a job. I don't even understand how people go to these churches and the church don't give the community nothing, but always asking for money. Like, dude, what are you doing with the money besides getting fat, buying every new pair of shoes, having nice cars? I mean, I don't know, man. Like, God just been working with me, dealing with me on a lot of things. And it's just a lot of stuff that, like, I just cannot tolerate, will not tolerate. He's not going to allow me to tolerate. And I thank the Lord every day for it, because I'm done with these church shenanigans, with these pastors that don't want to work, but they want to take all the people in the congregation, hard working money, who actually go out and work every day. But they don't want to get out and work, and they only do a sermon on Monday or Wednesday or Tuesday and Wednesday, whatever 2 days of the week they do their sermon on. And then they sit up there and expect the people that's done work 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week to give them all their money so they can live comfortably. But they do nothing for the community. I give when the Spirit of the Lord tell me to give. I do. No lie. I love to give. So I give when the Spirit of the Lord tell me to give. But I thank God that I no longer have to give tithes and offerings to anybody's church. That Levitical law that they sit up there and try to tell you you're going to be cursed if you don't give the tithe and offering. And then they use the book of Malachi. I believe in giving donations. And I would donate when the Lord tell me to donate. Period, point blank. So while people sitting up here wanting me to be a member of their church, they just don't know giving not going to be a part of it. I'm not giving tithes and offering. I'll give a donation when the Lord tell me to. So with you all knowing that, whenever you do hear this podcast, just know you may not want me as a member of your church because y'all not going to rob me blind again. You know, I passed that test of giving when the Lord told me to give. Man, I was sitting up there working and giving away more than 10% of my tithe. I was giving away so much of my paycheck. I was like, God, what the heck? And he said, don't you have food? Don't you have shelter? Don't you have clothes on your back? Don't you have your necessities? I said, yes, Lord. So he had me giving to churches. No lie. But those same churches I gave to, he let me see how they were either wasteful with their money or how they actually gave to other people and help the community. It was all a test to let me see what pastors are really doing in their churches with their money. I can't control what the pastor does with the money, but the thing is, you know, a tree by its fruit. The fruit, man, that thing stood out to me so hard in the Bible. The fruit. So just saying. In other words, know that you're sitting up there planting a seed on ground where people are being blessed, not being cursed. You know, that stony ground, them rocks, you can't reap a harvest that way. You got to make sure you planting them seeds on good soil. You understand where I'm coming from? And it's just the whole truth because I do believe in giving. I'm a giver, but I give when the Lord tells me to give. I'm not under no Levitical law, and I will not be cursed if I do not pay tithes and offering. Actually, the fact that I stopped paying tithes and offering, I have been more blessed than anything in the world. The fact that now I donate and I give when God tells me to give, my harvest has been plenty. It's just a beautiful thing when you see the bull crap for what it really is, even in the church with these greedy church pastors. When you see the bull crap. When I was giving tithes and offering, I was struggling financially. But when I started donating to the different ministries and the different families who needed help for real, now my harvest is plenty. Ain't that something? That's a whole message and sermon by itself. And that's what I'm going to leave you all with on this Sunday morning, May 22nd, 2022, 5/22/22. You must know where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. My dear black people, let us stop being a problem and start being a solution. We can do this. We have it in us. We were created for it. But it's time to stop complaining and actually get up, get out, and get something and do something. You know, I used to have the mindset of another day, another dollar. Jesus, such an ignorant mindset, right? But now my mindset is another day, another soul. You know, because here's the thing. If you haven't accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, do so on today. Open up and let him in. Invite him into your heart and tell him, ask him to forgive you of your sins. Let him know that you no longer want to sin and you need his help to stop you from sinning. Because if you could do it on your own, it would have been done by now. And just know, for all of you out there, hurting, just know Jesus is a healer. For all of you out there angry, Know that the Lord can give you peace that surpasses all understanding. You just got to open up your heart and let him in. For all of you who are angry for one reason or another, and you can't seem to shake that anger, get a therapist. Because many people are on, government, Medicaid, Medicare, whatever you want to call it. And they pay for therapy. It's not about getting medicine, but they pay for therapy for mental health. True story, true story, true story. How do I know? They paid for my mental health. They paid for it when I was mentally ill. When I was suffering from mental illness, severe depression, and anxiety, who paid for it? The government. No lie. True story. So at the end of the day, go get you some help. Look at the back of your insurance card and you'll actually see a spot where it says for mental health. No lie. I know you will in Tennessee. It's on there. Right there. Big. But do anyone call that number? No. Because they rather self-medicate. Be that as it may, that's why there's so many suicides and overdoses. Because of self-medication. No lie. Suicide survivor. I know this for a fact. You all just know. Jesus loves you. There's enough hate going on in the world. But Jesus loves you. He just wants you to open up your heart and let him in. So you can learn to love again. You can be whole. You can be made whole. You can be made whole. How do I know? When my son was murdered, I felt like a part of my heart had been ripped out. I felt like there was a hole in my heart. And I was angry and I was mad. I felt the hole in my heart. I felt that my heart had been torn into pieces. But now I have been made whole. I'm not looking for love in all the wrong places with men. I'm not gathering around people that suffer from the same trauma in a misery group. Because misery loves company. The Lord has truly blessed me. I was a backslider like many of you. Living the way that I wanted to live. Claiming I love God, but I was living for the devil. I was torn in between the two. Good versus evil. 1 minute I'm good and 1 minute I'm evil. I get it. I know. I remember one day I told my mother, I feel like I got the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. One telling me to do the right thing and the other telling me to do the wrong thing. My mom was like, oh God, it's time for you to go to therapy for real. And that is when I really went to therapy. Because see, the therapist had already told me, my son told me I needed to go to therapy. But the day I told my mother, I could literally hear good in one ear and evil in the other, like it was an angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other, or like it was God on one shoulder and the devil on the other. My mama said, okay, now it's time for you to go get counseling because you are really battling good versus evil. And that is what really made me go get the therapy that I needed. The therapist told me, my son said it, and that just came back to me just now as I was speaking to you all, because I was in a parking lot right down the street from the therapist's office, and I was like, Mama, I am bothered. I called her on the phone, and I was like, Mama, I'm hearing good and I'm hearing evil. Mama, I don't like this. And she said, it's time for you to go to therapy and get help. And I said, Mama, the therapist that Sydney go to right down the street from me, she said, well, go down there and make you an appointment. And I got in my car and I drove down there and I made an appointment in person. No lie. I remember it like it was yesterday, and that memory just came back to me. Because I was literally hearing good thoughts and evil thoughts. No lie. I was in spiritual warfare. My mother knew what it was because she had been in spiritual warfare. So she knew exactly what it was. So she was able to point it out to me. And this is the truth. Jesus, I feel this all in my spirit. So you all, you've got to know the spiritual warfare is very real. It is very real. It is very real. It is very real. good versus evil is very real. You must know this. And you also must know that Jesus is coming. And the question is, are you ready? If you were to die right now, would your soul go to heaven or hell? Don't believe the lie that the enemy tell you that you have until tomorrow, when you may not even have the next hour, the next minute. My mother passed in her sleep. My son went out on a normal day and was shot in his back by somebody he knew. No one knows the day nor the hour that they will leave this earth. The question is, have you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? My mother knew Jesus. And although she didn't really accept him again until 2 days before she died, after repenting of her sins, and she passed in her sleep, she was right with God. My son Sidney knew Jesus. And although he was able to shoot his killer in self-defense in his head before he died, he repented and said, I didn't mean to hurt anybody, but they were shooting at me. So at the end of the day, by the grace of God, my mother and my son both had time to repent one last time. But everybody don't get that chance. Everybody don't get that chance. I pray y'all enjoy your day. I pray y'all repent and pray. And I pray this message helped at least one person, because it's all about the one. Heaven rejoices over one sinner that repents. Enjoy your week.